In today's video, we revisit a healthcare startup that wants to do telemedicine, but really telehealth, and they want to stay within the coaching model. So is this possible? Is it okay to have telemedicine that's not really medicine? Of course, there are lots of healthcare startups today setting up virtual health coaching, mind-body interventions, and every variation, like tracking exercise, calories, nutrition, mood, lots of other variables. Hi everyone, I'm Michael H. Cohen. I'm founding attorney of Cohen Healthcare Law Group. We help healthcare industry clients like you navigate healthcare and FDA legal issues so you can grow your healthcare business. So today's hypothetical client asked, how can we establish our health coaching mobile app and software platform without risking unlicensed corporate practice of medicine? If a coach gives advice and the client gets injured, is that malpractice? Could we get sued? What kinds of consent forms do we need for our coaching groups, as well as our individual clients? And can our coaches recommend dietary supplements? Can they recommend nutritional plans? Or is this considered unlicensed practice of medicine? Is it considered prescribing? What kind of disclaimers and waivers can you draft? These are the kinds of questions we deal with day in and day out. As a brief snapshot, first, we want to distinguish clinical recommendations from just giving information and education. There's a free speech kind of exception for online dissemination of health and wellness information. The challenge, though, is when a health coach individualizes, customizes, and stylizes their advice, particularly where the client has a clinical condition, for example, obesity, depression, insomnia. This can be scrutinized by regulatory bodies like medical boards. And there's a natural collision here between the strictness of the rules on the books, what the laws say, and how they might be interpreted if enforcement is aggressive, and what the health and wellness and coaching industries actually do every day. And titrating this risk between these two worlds requires a lot of careful legal advice and good business judgment together with the entrepreneurs. As general advice, coaches should stay away from diagnostic labels and language and style their recommendations in terms of habits and goals. For example, don't talk about depression and obesity. Coach on how to maintain an optimum state of mind and how to eat foods that are nutritionally dense and calorically low. A second important key here is that disclaimers can help manage customer expectations, but they won't go the distance with regulatory boards. More important is the actual business model. That's why we normally recommend what we call a legal strategy session as the first step in getting your model sorted out. If the health coaches want to order labs, another question that comes up, does that up the ante in terms of regulatory risk? Yeah, sure it does. And since PHI, protected information, health information could be involved, consider some basic steps toward HIPAA compliance, which we talk about in other videos and elsewhere on this blog. Thanks for watching. Please connect with us with your questions. We look forward to talking with you soon.